I haven't asked for one thing for myself, and I'm the only Republican that has 0 committees. So you would think I would be the one in there asking for something, but I haven't done that. But I find out that it's my Freedom Caucus colleagues and my supposed friends that went and did that, and they asked nothing for me. Nothing. That's what I found out in there. I am furious. Well, let me tell you something. While the conservatives that the base supports and believes in, let me remind everyone, they're not perfect either.
It's like a rebirth of Mean Girls, right? And boys. You take a clique of high schoolers, friends, freshmen. They suddenly decide to turn on one another in favor of self-preservation, self-promotion. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, emerging from a closed-door meeting where members of the Freedom Caucus, her people, shouting, cursing, arguing against other Republicans. She's so fed up when she emerges from that meeting, and this is ahead of McCarthy's eventual win for Speaker of the House in the 15th round. She decides she needs to share some receipts, and not just about what went on behind closed doors, but receipts, reminders, if you will, about recent history. Listen.
Scott Perry, before his general election, refused to vote against the bill that was all about the gay marriage bill. He didn't. He refused to vote against it. He voted for it. Then when it came back around after his election, he was able to vote against it. Conservatives would not like that. Let me remind everyone this. Matt Gaetz, who has compared Kevin McCarthy to Paul Ryan, my friend Matt Gaetz, he supported Paul Ryan almost more than anyone. It's still on his social media. As a matter of fact, his first vote in Congress was for Paul Ryan as Speaker. And then he cheered him on for nearly a year and a half or more when people like me were at home furious at Paul Ryan's speakership because it wasn't passing the MAGA agenda that we all supported. Chip Roy, he refused to object on January 6th. That's not what our base wanted. He also set out the vote for the January 6th committee. There's many more. Bob Good, $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Lauren Boebert, under $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Many more people have taken Kevin McCarthy's money to get elected, and then there's a few of them that don't want to support him as Speaker. So imagine that. This is not anything about the country. This is all about never Kevin. They just don't like Kevin McCarthy. And you cannot be successful in anything if you aren't able to walk in a room, make what you want, and get a deal done, and then walk away with the W.
Well, she's wrong about that one. Not only did these troublemakers win without integrity, they took hostages, too, within their own party. Kevin McCarthy, despite his eventual victory speech where he touts resiliency, a battle of wills that he's won, he's a hostage.
But I hope one thing is clear after this week. I never give up.
A hostage who appears to be in a padded cell. I mean, Kevin McCarthy is in for one hell of a ride. What we witnessed as he finally scored the speakership, that's nothing. This is going to be like the worst kind of not up to code carnival ride that comes to town. You don't even know if you're going to make it off the ride, and nobody ever wins those big prizes. That's what he's in store for. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is really trying to warn all of us that it's not about the win, it's about the pivot. It's about the pivot. As soon as a Republican over there emerges, or over there, their sound bites on loop, gets too much of the news cycle, well, you got to take them out and cut them off at the knees. That's what they're doing here.
Let me remind everyone, there's 218 votes to get something passed. That means all of us are powerful, every single faction in the Republican Party. So there's not going to be a tiny little group that is going to demand their way because they want subcommittee chairs and they want certain power positions. That is not how this works.
Keep the chaos going. The funhouse must never end. Don't get off the unicycle. It's about the exercise of dysfunction. The path is never clear. It's not meant to be. You may feel differently, but that's my take. I'm Sharon Reed, and you can catch me across all platforms at Sharon Reed Live. I'll see you next time.
I'm furious over it, and I'm going to continue calling them out. We will be fighting this out. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, here we go. Everybody back, everybody back.